Okay, so this one is hard. Algebra set, while long, and synthetic division. So why it is hard, we'll understand. Yeah. Look at this. If you remember in the previous EV1, you see, like for example, this F1 out here, you have 4, 3, 2, 1. So X is 1, and then a constant. Yeah. And then if you see out here, it is 3, 2, 1, and then a constant. Correct? But then if you look at this one, it is 5, the 4 is missing. Yeah. And then you have 3. And then the square is missing, the x raised to 1 is missing, and you have a constant. Therefore, this becomes difficult. Why? We'll solve and you'll come to know. So we are not going on to the synthetic right now. We're going on to the long division. Yeah. So we'll solve the first question, Q. Yeah. Right. So you got x raised to 5, leave a gap, minus 4 to the power x to the power 4, leave a gap. All right. 2x cubed. Yeah. Extend it further. You got plus x squared. Yeah. And now you have minus 10. Okay, now here's what you need to be careful about. Leave some gap as if there was some x, yeah, and then write minus 10. And you'll come to know why I'm doing that, okay? So look at this. You got x minus 2, right? So x minus 2 into what gives you x raised to 5, right? So that's pretty easy. It will be x to the power 4, right? So x raised to 5 minus, you have 2x to the power 4, right? So you have x to the power 4, and therefore it will be x to the power 5 minus 2x to the power 4. Change the sign. Minus becomes plus and plus becomes minus. This cancels. And you got negative 2x to the power 4. Bring down 2x cubed. So now you have minus 2x to the power 4. So x minus 2 into what gives you minus 2x to the power 4. So it'll be minus 2x cubed. Minus 2x cubed. So minus 2x cubed, when you multiply with x minus 2, you get minus 2x to the power 4 and plus 4x cubed. Yeah. So you'll have minus 2x to the power 4. So this x gets multiplied with this whole thing negative. Yeah. That gives you minus 2x to the power 4. And this negative 2 gets multiplied with this negative 2x cubed. So it gives you plus 4x cubed. Change the sign. This cancels. And you got negative 2x cubed. Bring down x squared, positive. Now you want negative 2x cubed, right? So it'll become negative 2x squared. So negative 2x cubed you get, and minus 2 into minus 2 is plus 4x squared. Change the sign. Minus becomes plus, plus becomes minus. This cancels. You got negative 3x squared, right? Okay, so now you want negative 3x squared, so it'll become negative 3x. So x into negative 3x is negative 3x squared. And then minus 2 into minus 3x is plus 6x, right? So change the sign, and this cancels, and you got negative 6x. Bring down the negative 10. So now you see why I left a gap out here, so that this negative 10 would be in the same, column as the negative 10 out there. Otherwise, negative 10 would be here, and you write negative 10. It doesn't really matter, but it just kind of aligns well. And then finally we have -6, right? So x into -6 is -6x, yeah. So let me see if I can fit in here, yeah. And then -2 into -6 is +12. You change the sign, this cancels. You get plus becomes negative, so you get -22 as your remainder. And this whole thing is your quotient. So quite a lengthy one compared to the easy ones, right? Yeah. Okay. R. So you got 9x to the power 4 minus 3x cubed minus 2x squared. Leave a gap for the x and then write plus 12 out. You got x plus 3. So x into x cubed gives me x raised to 4, but then I need a niner as well. So 9x to the power 4, yeah, and plus 3x, 3 into 9, 27x cubed. Change the sign. This cancels. You got -30x cubed. Bring down -2x squared. I want -30x cubed, so it'll become -30x squared. So -30x cubed, yeah, x into this will be -30x cubed, and plus 3 into -30 is -90x squared. Change the sign. This cancels, and you got 70, no, 88x squared. Okay, yeah, 88x squared. Nothing to bring down for the x part, right? So what do? You want 88x squared, so therefore it'll become 88x positive, right? So you got 88x squared plus 3 times 88. So what is 3 times 88? 264. So it'll become plus 264x. Change the sign, and this cancels, right? Yeah, and become -264x, and now bring down the 12. So I want -264 out here with x. So x into -264 gives me -264x. Yeah, okay. So the idea is to get the same sign, yeah. If it's plus, then if it's plus, then you bring plus. If it's negative, you bring negative. Same thing has to be there. Then you change the sign and subtract it. So 3 into -264. So 3, 4 are 12, 18, 19, 3 to the 6, 792. So I got plus, no, -792. Change the sign. This cancels. And I got 794, 804 positive. That's my remainder. And that's my quotient. Okay, we finished our S. So you got 12x cubed minus 3x squared, and then leave some gap for the x, and you got 50. This is x minus 4. So I want 12x squared into x gives me 12x cubed. 12x squared into -4 gives me -48x squared. Change the sign. That's minus and plus. This cancels. And I've got 45x squared. Okay. Nothing to bring down because x is not there. So now I want 45x squared. So it'll be plus 45x, because plus 45x into x gives me 45x squared. And plus 45x into -4 gives me -180x. Change the sign. This cancels, right? I got 180x positive down. I bring down the positive 15. Positive 15. Yeah, since this is the you know it's kind of complicated but lengthy. Yeah. So it's not really complicated. It's kind of complicated. It looks complicated, right? Because it's lengthy. It uses up a lot of space. Yeah. So make sure that you jot down your question right, because any of these errors, yeah, in the question, yeah, what you're dividing, what is the dividend, then you have to do the whole thing again. Quite comes anyway. So 180x now. So obviously it'll be plus 180 out here. So I get 180x, and then 180 times 4 is 720, negative 720. Change the sign. This cancels, and I got positive 735 as my remainder, and that whole thing is my quotient. T. So I've got 5x to the power 5. Leave some gap because there's no x to the power 4. So 6x cubed minus 3x squared. Leave some gap for the x. Yeah, and now write 20 plus 20. And this is x plus 5. So I know it's x to the power 4 and 5. So I get 5x to the power 5 because 5x4 into x is 5x5. And then I got 25x to the power 4. Yeah, change the sign. This goes negative 25x to the power 4. Bring down plus 6x cubed. Yeah. And now I want negative 25x4. So negative 25x to the power cube. Yeah. So I got negative 25x to the power 4. And this negative 25x cubed into 5 is negative 125x cubed. Change the sign. This goes, and I got 125 and 6, 131x cubed. Bring down negative 3x squared. Yeah. So now I want 131x squared out here into x gives me 131x cubed. Yeah. And then 131 times 5, big numbers. 5 on the 5, 5 3 the 15, 5 on the 5, and 655. Okay. 100 5 the 500, 35 the 150, so 650, and 1 5 the 5, 655. Change the sign. Okay. This was plus. So change the sign. This cancels, and I got negative 658. I forgot this part. X squared. Yeah. X squared. Yeah. Bring down the nothing to bring down because the x is missing. So yeah, I should have ideally written 20. This is x squared, then the gap for the x out here. So no, I was right. It's just that, my spacing was incorrect with this workout out here. Anyway, so there is no x. So then it's negative 658x. Yeah, that into x gives me negative 658x squared. And then negative 658x into 5. Okay, 658 into 5. 5 the 40, 5 5 the 25, 29, 5 6 the 32, 3290. So negative 3290x. Change the sign. And I've got this cancels. I got 3290x. And bring down the 20. And then finally I've got plus 3290x. Yeah. So I got 3290x. And then times 5. 500, 5 9 45. 5 2 are 10 and 14. 5 3 are 15, 16. 16,450 positive, right? Yeah. So change the sign, this cancels, and I got negative 16,430. Wow. So this is my remainder, but I'll double check this by solving this using synthetic division. Okay. Yeah. So hang on to this answer and let's do the synthetic division on this question T. Okay. On T. Let's do synthetic division on T. Just to verify my answer. So in synthetic division, what do? We write sleeping 7, right? And then we write only the coefficients 5, and then the 4 is missing, so leave the gap and then write 6, and then negative 3, so plus 6, yeah, negative 3, yeah. So write down negative 3 close by, yeah, like that, because it is, yeah, x cube and square. Leave the gap for the x and then write 20 out here, plus 20, and take the positive 5 only, yeah, and not the x. And now leave a gap and draw this line. Bring down the 5 out here, okay? Now 5 times 5 is 25. Change the sign. So what I get down here is negative 19, correct? No, my bad. So remember, this is your, so I think while doing the synthetic division, uh, uh, bifurcate it like this, correct? So you know there is a visual gap, okay? So 5 times 5 is 25, so 25 comes here, yeah, correct? Change the sign, and you got negative 25 down. Now 5 times negative 25 is negative 125. Change the sign, and you got 131. 5 times 131 is 655. We calculated that. Change the sign, and you got negative 658. Correct. And 5 times negative 658 is 3290. So I think we are on the right track. Negative 3290, change the sign. So it becomes positive 3290. Right? And 5 times positive 3290. Yeah, we are right. So it's 16,450, and that'll be positive. So change the sign. So it becomes negative 16,430. That's my remainder. So I guess the only thing that is missing is the negative sign or something. Let's find out. So this is negative 16,430. I must have stopped out here. So let's see. Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah. Let's see what we've got. Ah, there it is. Negative 16,430. So you're right. Ain't that cool? Okay. You. 3x to the power 4. Leave a gap because there's x cube and then there's plus 2x square. Leave a gap because there's an x and then there is negative 12. And this is x minus 3. So I want 3 times x cube because that into x gives me 3 times x to the power 4. And then negative 9x cube. change the sign. This cancels. I got negative x cubed. I'm bringing down 2x squared. So now I want 9x cubed. So it'll be 9x squared into x gives me 9x cubed. And then negative 27x squared. Change the sign. And I got 29x squared. Nothing to bring down. So now it'll be 29x. So that'll be 29x squared. And then obviously negative 3 into 29 is 90 and 3 less, so 87. Okay, so negative 87x. Change the sign, and I got 87x. Bring down negative 12. And then finally I got plus 87, and I got 87x because 87 goes into x. And I got negative 87 times 3 is 240 and 21, 261. So 3 8s are 24, 261. Change the sign, and that is positive 261, negative 12. So that's easy. Yeah. Borrow 1 from 6. 6 becomes 5. This is 11, 9, 4, 2, 249. So I got positive 249 as my remainder, and that whole thing is my quotient. What do you say? Easy? Mm-hmm. We're done with this long division. We are moving on to synthetic division now. Okay, F. Okay, so we have 4 out here, 6, and I told you, this will be your gap out here, and 6, and then there is 2, obviously, yeah, and then there's negative 3, and then there's positive 6, and then there's negative 15. So there's no gaps, okay? But anyway, you got to bring down the 6, yeah, out here. 4 6 are 24. Change the sign. So negative 22. Negative 22 into 4 is negative 88. Change the sign. So it becomes 85 positive. Yeah. And then 85 times 4 is 340. So in synthetic division, the only thing is the layout. You need to memorize the layout, and then things will start flowing for you. So now this is negative, obviously. And yes, the steps, when negative, when positive, and all those things. So now you have negative 334, yeah. And then negative 334 into 4 is 16, 12, 13, 12, 13, 1336. So that'll be negative 1336, and this positive. So then you got positive 13 and 21 because 15 subtracted from 36 gives you 21. That's my remainder, positive 1. And my quotient is, remember, this is x raised to 4. So therefore this will be 6x cubed minus 22x square plus 85x and then 334. That's my quotient. Has to be one less power than the actual one, okay? So all these steps you'll have to memorize. G. Yeah, so it is difficult. It's not that easy. Okay. So sleeping 7 minus 7, remember, we take the number without the x, so the number is negative 7, and then write down the coefficients 3, and then 9, and remember, put your gap, and yeah, and then you got 4, and you got negative 14. So bring down the 3, negative 7 into 3 is negative 21, change the sign, and you got 30. And then 30 into negative 7 is negative 210, change the sign, and you got 214. 214 into 7. 214 into 7. 1498, negative obviously. Change the sign, and you got 1484. That's your remainder. Your quotient is 3x squared plus 30x plus 214. That's your quotient. Right. G. We done with G. So now H. So you got X, sorry, my bad. Sleeping 7 minus 5, 1 because x to the power 5's quotient is 1. And obviously this gap and then this one, and there'll be another gap, right? Why? Because the x to the power 4 is not there. So then you got plus 10, and then this was for x cube. Remember, this is for x cube. This is for x to the power 4, which is not there, right? Now you have x squared, a gap, and then x, a gap, right? And then finally have the number negative 40. Okay, so now bring down the 1 out here, right? So you have to bring it down. So negative 5 into 1 is negative 5. Now that's the reason the gap is important, right? Correct? Right. So the sign changes and you got positive 5. So negative 5 into 5 is negative 25. Change the sign and you got 35, right? 35 times 5 is 35 are 150, 5 5 are 25, 175, I believe. But we'll just do the right math. Yeah, 175. It's negative 175. So it becomes positive. So 175 positive. And then 175 times negative 5. So it's 5. 5 5 are 25. Yeah, 5 7 are 35, 37, 875. So that's negative 875 becomes positive because you got to change the sign. And then finally 875, yeah, times 5 is 5 5 are 25, 5 7 are 35, 37, 5 are 40 and 43, 4375, and that'll be negative 4375. Why negative? Because 875 into negative 5 it is, okay? And then you change the sign. When you change the sign, then you got 4375 and negative 40. That's 4335. 35. Add 40 becomes 75. Right? So 4335, that's my remainder. My quotient is x to the power 5 is out here. So this will become x to the power 4 plus 5x cubed plus 35x squared plus 175x plus 875. And that whole thing is your quotient. I. Yeah. So you got 4 and you got 5, and then leave a gap. X cube is missing, and then x squared is 8, positive 8. Yeah, leave a gap because x is missing and you got negative 90. Bring down the 5. Yeah, bring down the 5. 5 4 are 20. Change the sign, negative 20, and then negative 20 into 4 is negative 80. Change the sign, so it's 88. 88 times 4, 352. So that's 352. Change the sign, negative 352. Yeah, and then 352 times 4. 4 twos are 8, 4 5 are 20, 4 threes are 12, 13, 14, 1408. So that'll become negative 1408. Change the sign. So 1408 and then negative 19. Yeah. So 140 is there, right? So we take 40. Okay. So this becomes 39, right? We borrow 1 from 40. That's how it works, right? Or no? Right, that's how it works, right? So this becomes 18. Because we borrowed 1 from 40, it became 39, and this became 18. So I got 9 gap. 39 minus 1 is 38, and bring down 1. So 1389 positive is my remainder. And my quotient is 5x cubed. Remember, you'll have to take 1 less than 4, right? Then minus 20x squared plus 80. Oh my God. Battery is low. Okay, right. So 5x cubed and then minus 20x squared plus 88x and then minus 352. That's my quotient. And yeah, okay, that's it. And the last question for the day, J. Sleeping 7, 6 out here because you take, the non-x value, and you got 8, and then you got, so leave a gap down there also, and out here no need of gap because it's x cubed. That's x4, x cubed, yeah. X square is missing, so leave a gap now. And then you got negative 30 for the x, and then you got negative 18, yeah. So bring down the 8, 6 8s are 48, negative, change the sign. So negative 46, right? Negative 46 into 40 into 6 is 6 6 are 36, 24, and 276. So you got 276 negative, right? Minus 46 into 6 is 276 negative. So change the sign, becomes positive 276. That comes down. Yeah. And then 276 into 6 is 6 6 are 36, 6 7 are 42, 45, 6 to the 12, and 4 16. 1 6 5 6 positive. Change the sign. Yeah. So it becomes 1 6 8 6. Right. Negative, obviously. Negative. Right. Okay. So negative 1686 into 6. Yeah. That's 6 6 are 36. 6 5 are 30, 33. 6 6 are 36, 39. 6 1 is 6, 9936. So that's 9936 negative, obviously. Change the sign. So it becomes positive 9918. That's my remainder. And my quotient is 8x cubed minus 46x squared plus 276x. Has to be one less than whatever it is. Okay. So 276 is underneath x squared, so it'll become x. And then you have minus 1686x. No, 1686 and because the x, so it'll be without that. So that's my quotient. And with that, we are done with this worksheet. Any doubts? You have my email ID on the worksheet, which you can access using the link in the description. So yeah, the email ID is not here, but if you go onto the website or my channel, you'll find the email ID. Okay. All right then. So thank you very much. Practice. I'll see you next with the last worksheet of the elementary algebra, you know, um, worksheets sets. So that was y and z is the last one after this, which is midpoint formula and coordinate and distance formula.